not teach us to chase after circumstances, but to master ourselves in any situation. This begins with prioritizing self-care as a solid foundation. Seneca once wrote a man's as miserable as he thinks he is. This is a warning suffering does not come from the outside world but from inner perception, that perception is directly influenced by one's mental and physical state. If you are constantly tired, sleep deprived, and eat irregularly, your body will send negative signals to your mind at that point. Even small pressures can balloon into overwhelming fears, on the other hand, when the body is strong and the mind is consistently nurtured. You will see that even the harshest challenges are opportunities to practice calm, and resilience. But how do you reach that state amidst countless worries? The answer doesn't come from complexity, but from discipline. In simple things, a quiet morning routine where you spend 15 minutes meditating, breathing deeply, and writing a few lines of gratitude in a journal is the anchor that keeps your mind from drifting. Don't underestimate the power of small rituals. They create stability and remind you that you can control today, no matter how chaotic the world is. In addition, learn to set boundaries. A person who can maintain distance is someone who understands the value. Off-silence work should not consume your entire life. Don't check emails after work hours. Don't let unimportant demands drain your mind when you refuse things that don't serve your peace. It's not selfishness, it's a quiet but powerful declaration of self-respect. God did not create humans to endlessly chase the machine of work, but to live fully mindfully and responsibly towards themselves. If at times you feel overwhelmed, don't try to bear it alone. Even the strongest souls need support. Marcus Aurelius often consulted teachers and trusted friends. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, and one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, lived through an era full of upheaval, war plagues, and constant political ICAL schemes. The weight on his shoulders wasn't just the survival of the empire, but his duty to history. Instead of being consumed by anxiety, he chose to converse with himself through his writings. In meditations on long nights after tense meetings, or when the camps were filled with unrest, he would sit down and write. You have power over your mind. Not outside events, realize this, and you will find strength. This wasn't just a reminder, it was a method to maintain clarity. He regularly meditated, wrote out his tangled thoughts, and unraveled them. With reason, this repeated act forged his mind like steel, calm, steady, and clear. So when facing storms, his eyes said only one thing: I am ready in the end, all efforts to control emotion and maintain focus. Begin with treating yourself kindly. It's not indulgence, it's responsibility. When your body is strong, your mind is calm, and you can look up and know there's a higher power watching over you. All the pressures out there become small waves crashing against a solid wall, and you, like a true Stoic, will stand there calmly, with a silent but weighty gaze. I will not be subdued. Number 3, foster a culture a culture of trust and collaboration. Trust and collaboration in moments of instability, when uncertainty looms. All eyes in the team will turn to you. They don't just look to you for solutions, they look for calm steadiness and the confidence that things will be okay. That's when a culture built on trust and collaboration is no longer a nice slogan, but the foundation that keeps the team from drifting off course to build that culture. A leader must understand that transparency is not a weakness, but a form of strength. When you share everything openly, even bad news, you send a quiet but powerful message of self-respect and accountability. The truth might make people uncomfortable for a moment, but ambiguity makes them anxious in the long run. Simon, a young CEO I once knew, went through a major financial crisis with his company. Instead of hiding the plummeting numbers, he stood in front of the entire team and said, I don't have the answer right now, but I have all of you, and I trust our collective effort that transparency and trust help the team come together to find a solution and turn danger into opportunity. Simon understood one thing: a leader's greatest strength is having the answer, but never hiding the question. There's a quote from Epicus that I always remember: "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." It doesn't matter what hits you: uncertainty, failure, or pressure. What really matters is how you respond. When you respond with transparency and invite collaboration, you plant the seeds of trust. And when those seeds grow, they form a sturdy forest where people find peace. Even in the storm, the next step is encouraging contribution. The most dangerous thing in any organization is silence. Born from fear of being wrong, when you listen to small voices, you not only solve problems better, but also to overcome every hardship without depending on anyone else. Number 8, always trying to outdo you. Outdo you when those who merely use you are absent during crucial moments. They subtly convey that your feelings and needs aren't valuable enough for their priority. This disregard leaves us feeling isolated and lacking true companionship. And before we've even had time to close the door on that disappointment, these types often reveal another side: a hidden competitiveness. They don't stop at ignoring you. They seek to outdo you in every area from work to personal life. Instead of celebrating your successes or offering support, they're fixated on winning. This is a clear sign of a relationship where sincerity is replaced by envy. This mentality could come from a colleague constantly competing over achievements, a friend always trying to outshine you, or even a family member bent on proving they're better. Imagine sharing a small accomplishment like a successful project or personal goal. Instead of sharing in your joy, they immediately mention a greater success of their own, or imply that your accomplishment isn't impressive. Or maybe it's a friend or colleague who keeps reminding you of what they've done better purposely, downplaying your achievements. Those who constantly seek to surpass others often fail to realize that when we derive value only from others' shortcomings, we lose our inner freedom. This need to be superior traps them in a cycle of envy. Have you ever encountered someone who feels dissatisfied when you achieve something, or only finds joy in seeing you fall short? This reflects their dependence on superficial pride, which never brings genuine happiness. Imagine working on a team project where you've contributed significantly, but when it's time to report the results, a colleague claims the credit and highlights their role over yours at this moment. A Stoic might ask, what is truly within my control? Do I need this person's recognition to understand my worth? This mindset focuses on inner calm and higher goals. Ultimately, true freedom and happiness come from independent of thought and spirit, not from relying on others. Approval when facing people who constantly try to outdo you. Remember that you don't have to engage in their race instead. Maintain your calm. As Seneca wisely said, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor Stoicism. Reminds us that real value lies in inner peace, in focusing on our own growth, and in letting go of the need to compete. Ask yourself, am I ready to live a life centered on my personal growth, where only those who truly support and uplift me are part of my journey? If this resonates with you, give a like as a commitment to cherish positive relationships. Now let's move on to our next music lesson number 9, spreading gossip and breaching. Spreading gossip and breaching trust. Trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship. When someone betrays you through gossip or destructive behavior, they damage the core value of mutual trust. Yet it's essential to recognize that betrayal is beyond our control. The only thing we can truly control is how we respond to it. Imagine a common scenario. You have a close friend, someone you trust deeply, and often share your most personal thoughts and feelings with. But one day you hear from someone else that they've been speaking poorly about you, even revealing secrets you entrusted to them. Pain and disappointment set in, as trust is not only about reliability, but also about the bond you've carefully nurtured over time. At that moment, you may question, is this person truly my friend? Or have they simply been using me for their own benefit? Asking yourself questions like these allows you to evaluate the relationship and recognize the true nature of that person. If the answer is no, you've discovered the truth and freed yourself from a toxic relationship. However, don't let resentment or hurt linger within you. Stoicism teaches that others' hurtful actions cannot control our emotions unless we allow them to. Stoicism encourages us to accept betrayal as part of human nature. Sometimes people betray trust or speak ill, not out of a desire to harm, but because they lack understanding and stability within themselves. When you understand this, you'll see that those who gossip or betray your trust are merely revealing their own weaknesses. You might ask yourself, why should I let someone else? Actions disrupt my inner peace in these situations. Learn to forgive, but also be mindful not to entrust your heart to someone unworthy. Forgiveness doesn't mean letting them continue to hurt you. It means freeing yourself from resentment and negativity. This not only protects your soul, but also preserves your tranquility, helping you avoid the spiral of pain and disappointment. In reality, maintaining trust and loyalty is one of life's challenges. Not everyone understands the value of loyalty when faced with betrayal. Remember that you can control